All right. So I hate when that shit does that. Um. So this video is honestly pretty ironic. Um. I wrote this in my calendar, basically writing that it was undisciplined, of course, but and it shouldn't be, of course. I should be performing well, like being disciplined. But it was worst. I wrote down worst P&L ever. This is probably one of my worst trades ever, and high ironically, it's ironic that I made $689, as you can see here. But I'm just gonna explain everything. So going into yesterday on this trade, I've been trading this stock all week, and going into to yesterday, as you can see, save the selection. Um, I should have been ready. But going into to yesterday, as you can see here, um, yeah, I shorted it. I made the video where I shorted. I don't know if I made a video yesterday about it or not, but I shorted it. I went in small, squeezed up on me. I missed my chance here. Then I shorted it here. It came down, and I got out for like a couple $100 profit. But today, well, pre-market, I mean, after hours, it wasn't doing nothing. Pre-market is what caught my attention. Um, the volume was dead. I thought this was going to be just a straight panic from here, but honestly, I wasn't comfortable trading it. So, you know, and not only that, my rule is to trade small only, and I did that at first, but pre-market started perking up a little bit, um, perking up, but I was in so small, I wasn't even tripping. Then I saw that I was down like 102. I wasn't tripping. Um, I really wasn't. Um, and then uh, going into today, um, uh, then market open, it started squeezing. I'm like, okay, whatever. It starts to squeeze. I'm letting it do its thing. I'm in small, so I ain't tripping. But it's squeezing, and the first 15 minutes haven't even finished yet, and I already started adding, and I was adding little by little. First started adding 500, but I should have done like 200 each along the way, and left myself with some room to add another bulk of shares um, later on. But I should have added smaller. If I should have stayed with small size the whole time, but if I was gonna add, I should have done smaller size and left myself with 2/3 of the size that I really want, or full size. But I went full size right off the gate, and the first 15 minutes I just kept adding and adding. Let me see if I can zoom in. And as I kept adding, it kept pushing up. Then it I had no more shares to add, or I didn't want to add it anymore here. I missed it, and then it came crashing down. In this range, I was down a lot. I was down about over $1,000 here, and I was beating myself up about it. Um, and then it came and it pulled back. I could tell that it wasn't going to go up any further from here, and I wanted to add, but I missed it, or I just decided not to. And it came down, and in this range right here, honestly, I was up $900 or so, and I didn't take it. As you can see, I didn't take it because the first thing that came to my mind was I want $1,000. Every day, every time I trade, I always want $1,000, and that's the wrong mindset. Not only that, um, but um, I just was in the wrong mindset, and I can't remember what happened exactly at this point, but I made the wrong decision, and it started perking up, perking up, perking up, and I thought it was still under red, and I was telling myself I should just take the gains right here and short higher. But I'm like, this might be a short bounce. I can short it, you know, from red to green or high day and take and then it drops some more, or add from red to green or high day and drop some more. And it bounced here, and I thought this was the end of the bounce, and it was just gonna come crashing down. It didn't. Then it got the red to green, and I added again, thinking it was gonna drop from there, and it didn't. And now, not only was I down on, not only did I lose the money that I made, but I was down on a trade, and I was down way bigger than I was supposed to. Um, and then it just kept uptrending from there. I could have taken a smaller loss at 27 red to green, but it was like a almost $1,000 loss. And honestly, I didn't take it. I didn't want to take it, but then I got a flash in my head. I said, "Yo, if you don't get out now, Sonny, based off based off on how it performed yesterday, as you can see here, and let me zoom out so you can see again. But based off on how it performed yesterday, I told myself, I'm like, bro, if you don't get out, this is gonna be a $5,000 loss." And I just told myself that, and I saw a vision of that happening. And I don't trade off of visions, and I'm not trading off of uh, I'm not trading like I'm a fortune teller or anything like that. I don't trade like that. But I had the warning. I just saw that. I just saw it, and I said, "Yo, if you don't get out, you're gonna be down big." And I saw the number 5,000, and dog, it really fucking happened. It started uptrending, uptrending, uptrending. I mean, I was in with, and you saw it earlier in this video. I was in 2,500 shares at 26 $26.73. That was my average. Um, it just kept going up, and I was down $2 a share, which is $5,000. At this point, I was down 5,000. The whole time I was going up here, it was going up. I was getting margin calls, all types of warnings, and the last warning was here, and it said we will immediately exit you, remove you from this trade if it goes any higher. That's basically the warning call that I got. And honestly, trading this, I didn't. The whole time it was going against me, and the whole time it was going down, I didn't go through emotional roller coaster. I must say that I did improve on my emotions. Like, I'm not as stressed as I was earlier this month or last month when I was trading and I was going through emotional roller coasters. Maybe because I got a cushion of $10,000 behind my ass, and I'm comfortable, but I didn't go through no emotional roller coaster. I was upset with myself and I was disappointed, but I just patiently watched it. And maybe because I I've been through this before, and it many times it goes my way, it ends up coming back down my way. Maybe that's what influenced me to not be emotional. But when I was here, I was like, I really told myself like, okay, if I lose these 5Gs or more, I can refund this account. Yes, this was a horrible trade, horrible discipline, but I can refund the account, and that's really what was going through my mind, and that's what prevented me from um, uh, um, stressing and worrying, and that's a good and bad thing in itself, because it's like that's why I withdraw funds out of my account, because I know I'm going to make these big fuck ups, and I don't trust myself, so I try to stay small, and any extra money in my account I take it out. But also the problem is I'm not being disciplined with my trades, and that's why you see me in this situation. So it's a good and bad thing that I felt that way, and why I do it. But um, yeah. So at this point, I added, and I just stayed stuck. And my mindset going into this trade was, okay, you're gonna trade small. You're gonna make a little bit of money. You're gonna after you trade, you're gonna trade for like the most an hour. Then you're gonna go play games. You're gonna go enjoy your life, and you're gonna go to school and do your tutoring. So I got tutoring like literally in less than an hour, and that was my plan. And I had my whole day set out, but because I performed horribly, um, I put myself in this position, and my whole day got screwed. But you're not supposed to trade with like, oh, I only got a certain amount of time. Let me throw in a trade. Um, Let me play a trade while I make some money with the little time that I have. That wasn't the mindset. It was more of I'm gonna trade for a little bit. I'm gonna trade small, trade for a little bit, get out. If it doesn't go my way, I get out. If it goes my way, I get out. Small gain, small loss, whatever. And then I want to enjoy the rest of my life. I don't want to spend hours into trading. Um, and I had that chance it when I added here and it dropped. I had that chance and I gave it up. It wasn't like I only had 30 minutes to trade on my lunch break, like the other guys, the other guy did that Timothy Sykes spoke about. No, it's really I had my whole day set out for trading except for 3 o'clock and on. And that's more than enough time to trade and make some funds, especially if you're trading small. But I failed to do all of that. Um, and this is why I don't like making these videos because they're always the same thing. It's the same thing over and over again, and it's good to make those videos even though they're repetitive, because it's a reminder that I'm making the same mistake. But this is another video of how I sized in too big, refused to cut losses, and boom, it goes. The loss is tremendous. Um, I was right for shorting this at the time, but I didn't play it correctly. So yeah, after I got the margin calls, I just kept waiting, and honestly, I didn't know it was gonna go my way. I really didn't know if it was gonna go my way or not. But I'm like, I'm gonna go for these games. I'm gonna go see if it can go my way or not, and I'll take the 5,000 if I have to or less. Um, and I felt like I deserved that loss, and I did. Honestly, I'm not a loser, and I don't deserve to lose. But at this moment, I deserved to lose because I failed to follow the rules. And honestly, I felt like Steven Ducks today were emotions weren't bothering me at all. I was just like, hey, you know, this is not supposed to be an emotional thing. And I realized it's really about your rules. I really learned really good lessons. It's about your rules. Follow your rules, and everything will go well. And honestly, I was never the type of kid to follow rules, especially in elementary school. I was very disobedient and a rebellious kid, very rebellious. And all the stuff that I experienced in my life has affected me um, in trading. Like Rondo Howell said, how you live your life will determine how you perform in trading, and actually trading is the opposite to life. So I'm going through that, and while I was taking this big loss, I felt like Stephen Duck's spirit came on me. It was like, yo, this is supposed to be emotionalist. You're supposed to just regulate your emotions. Although you're an emotional person, we're emotional creatures. Do not involve your emotions in this. You're wrong. This trade's not going your way. Make a decision. Are you going to cut or are you going to keep holding? You only have two decisions: cut or keep holding. And I'm like, you can cut here or you can keep holding. And I kept holding. And I took an even bigger loss, and I knew the risk to it, and I still did it. So that's why I wasn't really tripping. But it was still one of my biggest and worst loss ever. If I go and look into my calendar right here, um, I can look and see that. Well, I won't be able to see it because it pulled back on me. But that's probably one of my biggest realized loss ever. Looking into my calendar, um, probably probably in my paper trading calendar, I had that a big loss like that too. But I just from the high day of at 11, I just patiently waited and waited. As you can see, I didn't execute my orders anywhere here. I didn't execute any orders anywhere here because I just sat through this, and that's the wrong mindset to just sit through this massive loss and this massive trend. If I had just if I had just cut my losses here or took gains or cut losses and shorted here, I would have been thousands of dollars up. But I didn't, and that's the thing I keep missing is these big trends because I'm failing to follow the rules. And finally, it just kept downtrending and downtrending. I just kept waiting. I sat on this computer for hours just waiting and waiting and waiting, missing out on so many beautiful opportunities like going outside and playing games and prepping for tutoring and living my life. I'm honestly giving my life away to this stock market stuff because I'm failing to follow the rules. I can live a better life if I just follow my rules in trading and in my regular life. Um, but I sat through this massive drop, this massive downtrend, going through roller coasters of my P and L when it could have just been an easy W and walk away, and I could have made 1,000 or less than 1,000 and walked away, and have been like, oh shit, it went crazy. I'm glad I cut losses and or took gains and got back in and shorted out a better position because it went perfectly. I could have been this video could have been like, hey, how good I performed, but instead it's the same old shit of being undisciplined, not cutting losses, sizing in too big, and taking massive losses. You know, I don't want to go through this roller coaster, but eventually it ended up going my way. Um, right here, I had a chance to get out for $200. I didn't take it. Then it pulled, it popped up again, and I had another chance to get out, and I still didn't take it. And I still didn't take it. Sorry, my headphones are fucking with my ears. Um, and then finally, it just had a bigger panic, and I just took the gains. I actually wanted just $200 so I can just withdraw my account of $500, but it just dropped more, and I just took a $689 gain. But that's the problem right there. Another problem that I'm having where um, I'm supposed to get out, but because the money's not enough, I don't. And I just explained it to you now. I could have gotten out right here. Um, I could have gotten right here with a $900 loss. I didn't take it. And right here, didn't take it. It went back up to 2,000. Pulled back. Could have gotten out for a lesser loss. Maybe under PDT. Didn't take it. Didn't take it here neither. It jumped up. It popped up again. Then it pulled back. Could have taken a loss here and here for 900 right here, $900 loss here, and a $200 gain here. Didn't take it. Ended up pushing back to close to a $900 loss again. Still didn't take it. I'm like, you might as well just take this. Because what if it just keeps going up again and does a massive spike? And I still didn't take it. Then it dropped back to $200 gain. Didn't take it. Then around here, I was like 500. It was like 400, 500, 600. Didn't take it. Then then I just entered it and it was 680. I saw it was like 600, 700. But when I executed my order, it was just like 689. And even after I got out, I told myself I should have stayed in a little bit longer. I would have gotten more. And see how wrong that mindset is. A 6 cent difference, and I could have fucking blown me back up to a $900 loss, um, trying to get an extra 6 cents. But the mindset of that, of trying to make more money and just solely thinking about the money, is causing my performance to be even worse. And throughout this trade, I just realized I need to keep working on myself. There's a lot of things I need to work on. Um, I just got to keep working on a lot of things. I realized, like, yo, I was telling myself the other day, and I'm like, Sonny, you're technically an advanced, intermediate trader now, gearing towards an advanced trader. And a loss like this just reminds me I'm still a fucking beginner. And I need to go back to the beginnings and relearn some shit because my psychology's fucked up. I grew up in a dysfunctional household. My life was really fucked up. And when I'm trading, all that comes back and hits me. And that's the same thing for anybody else. What you experience in life is going to show up in trading. You start to recognize your flaws and mainly your flaws. But um, I mean, if I can say anything that I did good in this trade, um, I think it's just from the beginning of when I traded, getting in small, adding. When I was adding here, I was adding a little bit too big and a little too early, and that honestly was a mistake, an honest mistake. Um, and I don't beat my. I'm not blaming myself for that part. And then this was the good part of it because although I added bigger than I was supposed to, and too early, I was recognizing what was happening, and that was the best part about it. But other than that, no. And I was challenging it to see if it was going to break lower day, which it did. But this is where everything just went bad. My ads here were of course was this ad right here was bad. This ad right here was good. I added near red to green, but I told myself you should be adding near high day because that's what really matters. Because red to green and high days right next to each other. But all in all, there's really just a lot of improvement that I need, and try to trade like a robot. But regardless, you're human, and you're gonna have emotions. But just follow your rules. Just follow your rules, man. That's all it is. Thank you.